everyone. Welcome to the Terrifier podcast. My name is Camille.
And I'm Daryl. We are a Pinoy physical therapist duo living somewhat unconventional but intentional lives. We aim to achieve financial independence in a few years, but we make our journey fun so we don't go crazy.
In this podcast, we want to learn how Filipinos all over the world in different industries and walk of life earn, spend, save, and invest money to achieve financial independence. Today, we are going to chat with Mr. Kenneth Reyes-Lao on his journey towards financial independence.
Hello, Kenneth. Good evening dyan sa'yo. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. Kamusta naman dyan sa Davao?
Okay naman kami dito. I think like everywhere else, the pandemic has hit most businesses very hard, but
Okay.
we're getting there.
Good. So before we start the podcast, can you introduce yourself the way you want others to introduce you or know you?
Hi guys, my name's Ken, and I'm the founder of Cacao Culture Philippines. So we are focused in cacao agriculture, and we also make Philippine chocolates.
Nice. Masarap palang maging kaibigan si Ken. Meron kang free chocolates.
Sana may matamis na makasama si Kuya.
So this podcast is about financial independence. Can we ask you about your own definition of financial independence and what are the events or the things that push you to start this journey?
For me, financial independence is being able to not worry about your day-to-day expenses.
Mhm.
So I think that's the basic what attracted me to the movement. No, it's basically having enough funds that is earning you money that you don't have to worry about your day to day, so that you could focus on the things that you would want to achieve or you want to pursue. So yun yung definition ko on financial independence.
So what pushed you to start this journey? Kasi mostly may mga tao na nakikinig lang ng mga financial independence content. It usually takes time. Kagaya sa amin, it took time para sige na nga, i-compute na natin yung fine number natin, mag-implement na tayo ng mga optimizing strategies sa buhay natin para mas makasave tayo at saka maka-invest.
For me, me and my wife realized na we thought that kunwari starting a company, doing business is the singular path to being wealthy or trying to be financially independent. Pero yun nga, at the course of our struggle siguro, we eventually closed down one of the companies that we started with back in 2016. So doon talaga yung trigger point that I told myself na I think we need to change or we need to do something drastic. So kasi the things that we were doing wasn't working. No, so we were living in Manila, which is one of the highest most expensive cities to live in Asia. And sabi ko, yung pera natin is not going to be enough if we wanted to start a new business or if we wanted to really prosper, no, if we live here. So we decided to really move out of Manila and kumbaga makipagsapalaran sa probinsya or sa ibang city and try to work something out, start a new business there. So kasi mas mura yung cost of living, mas mura yung siguro materials, food, mas mahaba yung kumbaga yung PC namin when it comes to that. So a lot of those things really started from the closing of our company, and then we decided to just say, okay, let's pack up and see where this will take us. But we'll make sure that we will succeed on this now. So In 2016, we moved to Davao and started cacao culture, more agriculture based, and we started making chocolates na since 2017. So, yun, so far, even through the pandemic, we were able to survive naman.
Mag-follow up questions lang po ako dun sa sa Cacao Culture Philippines, no? So, ano po ba yung goals niyo as a company nung start niyo i-build yung Cacao Culture Philippines?
For us, when we started this new company, we wanted it to be grounded on helping others. Before kasi medyo selfish yung intention namin. We started the business to enrich ourselves. Yung mga ganun na parang okay, yun yung yun yung buzzwords, di ba? Na startup, tech, company, and then kunwari ilan yung money na papasok sa'yo and stuff like that. So it was very monetarily driven. So we wanted, when we started the next company that we wanted to build, it should be grounded on helping people. So when we started Cacao Culture, it's built as a social enterprise talaga that focus on helping cacao farmers and also their wives. No? Kasi we wanted it more para may dual income sila as a family. No, kasi if it's just one person working, then single income family sila. Pero at least with us, we have siguro we're a small company lang naman. We have 10 employees and we employ occasionally their spouses for work and additional income. No? And siguro i-explain ko na lang din, part of our advocacy really is not just helping them by providing income. I realized siguro medyo late in the game, one of the reasons or one of the main things that we wanted to do is also financial literacy. No? It's not just providing income. We need to teach them how to use the money. And siguro it's a rude awakening for me. I just wanted to share.
Right.
Some of our employees or staff was siguro pumasok sa mga financial scams back in 2019. So that's 2019 na kasi I'm providing them income providing them livelihood and work. And then at a certain point, meron na kaming naririnig na rumors that they were putting money in this parang financial scam nga. And at that time, I was juggling, yung ano ba, where's the boundary between employer and employee? And then, baka let's say, pagsabihan ko sila na wag gawin yon, it might be crossing the line.
I see.
Diba? Kasi parang ang hirap for me to say, don't use that for this. Pera na nila yun eh.
Baka personal na masyado.
So that was the struggle that I had, no. So they ended up still giving money to the institution, and then they ended up with nothing. So na scam talaga sila. And then that's when I realized that I had to step in. So ngayon we have quarterly talks about money, about where they're putting it. They need to save for emergency funds. Yung mga tinuturo ko is more the practical sense of how they need to use the money. So since maliit lang kami na company, one-on-one ko talaga sila. In that sense. No, so that's where our financial advocacy comes in, yung financial literacy nila.
Pero how did they take it po nung una ka nagsabi, pag-usapan natin to, ano ba nangyayari sa buhay natin? Parang, how did you approach them po? Parang gano'n.
For me kasi, it's more coming from a point of concern because sila na rin yung umamin sa akin that they put the money in the institution that scammed them or that fooled them out of their money. So, siguro I came in that more of like guide, not more of a lecturer or alam mo yun. So it's very different kasi when you try to come in and lecture people na for them might be, okay, this information is way over their head. So, ang ginagawa ko talaga is trying to be more simplified, making more analogies na maintindihan nila.
Mm.
Diba? Kasi how do they process that information? And most of these things are yung mga financial information, baka hindi pa nila ready or hindi pa sila ready to understand. No, so that's where the coaching comes in and saving. And then we also made parang hindi man competition pero yung parang ipon challenge.
Oh, wow.
Galing! Saya
For
naman sa company niyo, kuya.
2021, kailangan nila mag-ipon for their emergency fund. So we set up a goal individually. Like, kunwari, ito yung, like how you would compute your emergency fund. So we help compute their emergency fund goal. And then they have to reach it. Or they need to save at least. No? So, okay naman. I'm pleased with the result ng 2021. So hopefully itong 2022 would be better for them. And then siguro, just to share, yung isang employee namin was able to save enough to invest in a business or invest in a
Wow.
something that would generate additional income for them. So, yun, nakaka-proud din yun. No? Kasi
Oo.
something that minsan talaga pag sinabi na sa'yo, sir, we've never had this much money before, ever. Kahit maliit lang yun na value, let's say 10,000, 20,000. But they never had that much money at one time na accessible to them.
Ang galing. Tingin ko parang si Kuya talaga ang definition ng leader, no? Hindi ka lang nagpapasweldo, pero you try to help your employees have a better life din. Kasi kung sa iba employers, di bahala kayo, di ba? Pero kayo, you have the heart to really help other people. Pag nakikita niyo nagsastruggle sila, you try to step up. Which is, ang galing. Yun po ba yung nag-inspire sa inyo? Kaya kayo, kasi let's tell all the other Filipinos that you also build a group called Fire Movement Philippines. So was that your inspiration to start this group, or?
I think yun yung isa din sa mga decision points on starting the group. Kasi I've heard and read about FIRE, but through the lens or through the voices of foreigners, no? Yung mga content nila, yung mga sinishare nila, yung mga strategies nila. And then that got me to thinking, in the Philippine context, ano yung pwede kong gawin that may be similar? Kasi definitely per country, iba-iba yung situation, iba-iba yung rules. So if I want to play the game, I need to know the rules. Alam mo yan? So in the Philippine setting, if you want to play the fire game, ano yung meron ako? What's available to me? So that's when I started researching, started the group to share my learning. So yun yung mga gusto kong gawin. Kasi these tools are available, but they might not be, one, accessible, two, well-known or well-marketed, kaya hindi natin alam. So, but there are financial tools and financial services that would accelerate normal people's, let's say, income or middle-class people to accelerate themselves to a FIRE status, no? Even in the Philippines.
Sa research niyo po ba, marami kayong nakita mga tools na talagang ang regular Filipino worker na hindi naman ganun kayaman ay possible na ma-achieve nila yung financial independence o very limited compared sa mga naririnig nyo sa podcast, sa mga vlogs sa US or sa ibang countries?
In terms of government offerings, like what you have there in the US, yung mga 401k or Roth, meron din similar dito but not as advanced. Like yung SSS, PhilHealth, yung mga ganon. Pero it's not as advanced to say na may option ka to choose where to put the money. Kasi ganon yun sa US, no? Pwede ka may option ka to choose eh. And then, right now, what I feel, there is a convergence of things that is happening. One, yung digital, no? So dito sa Philippines, ngayon pa lang nauuso yung digital banks na nasa US that parang sobrang well penetrated na yung US with digital banking, ganun, 'di ba? And then
Wala
I
nang
think
palitan ng pera dito masyado talagang.
Hindi na kayo pupunta sa bangko.
Diba? So yung digital banking, let's say example lang sa US, what's the interest rate there? Savings would be 1%.
Not even.
No.
Right now, I think it's 0.5. May mga online banks, no? Baka mag 1.
0.01.
1%, diba? Dahil sa Philippines is a new market and very, kumbaga, untapped. Marami kasing unbanked dito eh. So, right now, the highest interest rate savings on a digital banking platform is 4%.
Wow.
Wow.
Savings lang yan. It's not even time deposit. Time deposit is much higher on a digital banking platform, no? So just to share, it's
parang too good to be true.
Yeah. So it's a Tonic Bank.
Tonic?
Tonik, yeah.
That's the only online bank there, or?
No, it's not the only online bank, pero that's the highest. That bank is the highest. Kumbaga, yung binibigay niya na savings interest rate is the highest, 4%. Wow.
And anyone can open sa Tonic.
Filipino, I think you have to have that. May KYC din sila. They have to do the whole process. They're also you have to have your Philippine ID, like a license or a passport, yung mga ganon. So, and then they're regulated by the BSP, Bangko Sentral. So, they follow the same guidelines as other banks.
But do you need a certain amount to open?
Talaga.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow. May kailangan po bang maintaining balance? Kasi dito
wala.
Wala! Wow, galing!
Parang di ako
makapaniwala.
4%, tapos walang maintaining balance, tapos walang minimum deposit. Parang open na talaga siya sa lahat ng Filipinos. Makaka-earn sila ng 4%.
Just by doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ang dito is that you could, kasi may so the Tonic Digital Bank has this main wallet where you deposit your money. Pag dun mo lang nilagay is 1% lang. But you have the ability to create stashes inside your account. It's like a parang envelope system. So let's say you're saving up for something for housing or for travel or for something. When you put it in a stash, that's when they give you 4% per annum.
I see.
The stash. Yeah. And then wala siyang lock-in. Walang lock-in.
Walang lock-in period.
You could just withdraw it anytime.
Okay. So yung 4% is annual ito? Or?
Per annum.
Per annum.
Yeah, per annum.
Pwede na. Wala namang ginawa eh.
For the other digital banks, I think the rate is average, I think 2.5%. It's still higher than the US. Pero that's because Philippines is still an untapped market in terms of digital banking.
Kaya ang ginagawa nila, tinataas nila yung percentage para yung mga tao
convince.
Feeling ko, if it becomes more mature market, bababa din yan. It's not going to be 4% forever.
So might as well take advantage now, no?
I think kasi yun yung nabanggit ko sa inyo before is that there's a lot of Filipinos that are wait and see. Kasi marami talagang na-scam na and alam mo yun. So even if you offer a legitimate solution, digital bank, something new, marami ding wait and see eh. Marami ding okay, totoo ba yan? 4%? Niloko lang tayo. Pero mas maniniwala sila sa scam that would return their money 3 times in a week. Alam mo yan? Parang minsan kinakamat ko lang yung ulo ko na this bank offers 4% interest on your savings per annum. Hindi sila maniwala. Pero mas maniwala sila dun sa investment scam na that would return your money 100 times.
Pag nag-invite sila, ang ganda ko lang.
Kumbaga, kasi quick get rich quick schemes.
Yeah,
pinapatulan ng mga natin, mga brothers natin.
And then yun yung na-realize ko lang talaga is the convergence of tools na with the technology. Actually, Filipinos have access to US-based ETFs.
Mm. Okay.
No? So by just being here and investing your money in the US stocks or the ETFs, index funds in the US, you have also access to the opportunity in the gains, no?
Okay.
Mm.
Investing in the Apples, the Amazons of the world, yung mga ganun.
Kuya, when did that
So,
started? Bago lang ba yan? Or matagal na
I
yun, hindi lang natin alam?
I think sa US kasi they've started to, I'm not sure if it's the right term, but democratize the access
Mhm.
of trading or investing,
Sa
no, in the
Philippines.
stocks.
Mhm.
So even the traditional brokerage firms are opening up their doors to foreign clients na
Mm.
hindi din ganun kataas yung mga kumbaga yung buy-in, no? So dati siguro it may cost you, let's say, $10,000 to have a brokerage to have an account in a brokerage firm in the
That's
US.
true.
Now, parang zero.
Yeah, kahit teenagers pwedeng mag-invest sa
Kaya lang
ETF, stock
hikayat pa lang
market.
sila ng mga tao ngayon eh. Pero kung
Yeah,
tama
so-
yung sinabi ni Kuya eh, hindi kasi lahat agad maniniwala eh.
Correct. So even in the Philippines, if you're here, you could invest in the US without going through a local brokerage or ikaw na diretso, pwede.
Pero may mga apps ba? Paano ginagawa? Paano kunyari, I'm a Filipino working there, I have significant savings, gusto ko sana mag-invest din sa...
What are the first
Basta.
steps that you have to do?
Siguro research on ano yung platform that you're going to use. I went with a more traditional brokerage firm na may track record. So, the name is Interactive Brokers.
Mhm.
Interactive.
And, so sa US, you could, in online, you could open an account. So I did it from here in Davao City. I opened an account and then I fund the account through my US dollar account here
Mhm.
in Davao. So yun. And then I invested in Vanguard ETFs, stuff like that. So
Low cost din.
yeah. So ang ano ko lang is more of like, if you really wanted to do it, may paraan na. No?
You have
Dati
to do
kasi
your
wala.
research.
Mhm.
So many walls and barriers. And so yun nga, like I look at it as a game, no? Di ba? Yung parang choose your own adventure like
Choose
you
your
guys
own game.
are doing. No? So yung ano natin is more of like, okay, how do we strategize? How do I get into that market? Or how do I get to play the game na US ETFs or stuff like that? So ganun din, while I'm here. So
Oo nga.
feeling ko kasi it's more of like the technology has brought the barriers down and normal Filipinos who really just wanted to figure it out may do so. Pero sometimes you have to lay out a plan for them also.
Mhm.
No? Kasi ano lang hindi lahat ng tao makakaintindi about technology, the safety and perils of hacking. Kasi yun yung maririnig mo sa news na-hack ako, na nawala yung pera ko online, yung mga ganon, di ba? So, there are a lot of things that are also parang worrisome for traditional parang Filipinos that are not used to digital banking, digital trading or online trading of stocks. So yun, parang for them, okay, mas safe na lang, nasa bangko na lang.
Tsaka gusto mo kasi parang mas gusto nila, nakikita ko, ito yung pera ko, hawak ko. Kaysa naka-invest sa stocks na baka pinaglalaroan lang nila. Pero magandang malaman na possible nga talaga yung FI kasi may mga online banks na nag-o-offer ng napakataas na interest rates, may mga time deposits din na I'm sure mas mataas pa. And then open na rin yung international stocks, yung US stocks sa mga Filipinos. So, pwede ka na talagang mag-layout ng path mo, ng plan mo to financial independence.
Right. And what I like about sa group na binild ni Kuya sa Facebook, yung Fire Movement Philippines, is that the Filipinos na member doon, they are so willing to share their experience to other people. Tapos, ang natutuwa pa ako kay Kuya, which is hindi naman na kami naka-attend, nag-aano sila ng accountability session.
Can you tell us about the accountability session?
So, we started parang, kasi for a Facebook group we were growing at a certain rate na okay lang. Parang chill lang. I didn't expect it to grow naman. So right now, as per this interview, we have reached 1,000 members.
Congratulations!
And then I wanted something na parang, okay, let's do something that get to connect people, especially during this pandemic now, walang face-to-face meetings, you can't gather everyone at a certain event. So the virtual meetup and virtual calls was one of the things that we wanted to establish now. So the fire accountability session in the group is a free to attend event. So we just organize it on a Saturday afternoon, and we usually pick a topic about, let's say, paying off your debt or what to do with your excess money for investing or checking your portfolio. So yung mga topics na yon we discuss specifically with that event, and then mostly sharing yung nangyayari. So people, Filipinos who are pursuing FIRE, they share their experiences. It may be good or bad, pero at least it's still a learning experience for everyone in the call. And we started doing this in 2021. And in 2022, this year, we made it more structured. And all the summary and the learnings of the call is posted in the group so that even those who weren't able to attend can still learn from the sharing of others.
Pwede para tayong ma-update pa rin.
Oo nga eh. Hindi, saka nakakatuwa nun. Matututo ka na sa ibang tao. Makikil mo pa na hindi ka nag-iisa. I guess yung having another person as yung accountability body mo, it usually helps you to pursue your dream more or pursue this whatever goal you have. Kung magpa-fire ka nga, let's say nasa Pilipinas ka, magpa-fire ka, there's also other people that can also be your mentor. Na usually, katulad ni Kuya, hindi naman siya binabayaran para turuan yung mga employees niya. Pero gusto niya kasi ayaw niyang mapahamak sila, mapariwara sila, ganyan. So, may mga taong katulad ni Kuya na nag-help din sila. Nag-share sila ng knowledge nila to also paano ba, parang mas umokay yung buhay ng isang tao. Lalo na kung willing naman yung isa. So, yun yung nakakatuwa din sa fire group eh. Lahat ng tao parang ambibo. Sabi ko nga, parang ambibo-bibo ng mga tao dito.
Tapos sa atin tayo, naantok pa tayo.
Oo, nakakahiya naman. Pupukas naman.
Pero initially po ba sa group ninyo, family members and friends, ang members na nakakausap niyo, completely strangers talaga yung sumali?
Actually, we made the groups. We made the group first and then invited family members, friends. Pero you'd be surprised, or baka hindi surprised, pero strangers have been more active, have been more willing to listen than your close family and friends. No? So kasi, I think may defense mechanism when you try to talk about money with your closest relatives and friends. And ayun, I think it's normal. And I'm actually nung una talaga surprised, people tried, parang joined, hindi ko kilala. And during the calls, I get to meet them, and yun nga, they're Filipinos based all over. So may mga sa Middle East, sa Europe. Now we had someone in the call based in Italy and London.
Wow. International.
Yung international, na.
Yeah, di ba
who are participating in the
i-update
call.
mo na yung mo.
Yung name.
So lang talaga, it's a group that I'm surprised that it grew, and also yung activity level in terms of participation of people active din. Kasi there are a lot of Facebook groups naman in the Philippines that promote investing or certain aspects na in the FIRE community you take as a whole.
Right.
Meron talagang groups sa Philippine groups na puro investing lang. Investing. And then meron namang group na purely minimalism. Tipid tips tipid
Tipid
living,
tip.
yung mga ganun, mga
Savings.
meron talaga mga groups na very specific on certain aspect. Pero when you look at FIRE kasi, it's more of a holistic approach. You're
Right.
trying to earn higher income, but also minimizing your expense.
Mhm.
No? So, ang hirap no na if you're just looking at it as a tipid tips group. So parang yun lang yung messaging na nakukuha mo
Para
eh.
very constricting.
Very
Restricting.
constricting. And then pag doon naman sa investing group, puro hype. No? Yung hype na okay, pasok tayo dito.
May punto ka doon, kuya.
Ano talaga? Kasi the community that's built there, yun yung the goal is to get rich, di ba? The
Okay.
goal is to ano yung saan ako papasok, ano yung next investment. And then the questions are more talaga about saan ko ipapasok tong money, saan ko very kumbaga aggressive na. Doon sa tipid tips, how do you constrain yourself? How do you save a lot of the money? And minimalism, more of that mindset naman. So I think FIRE kasi touches a lot of these things. And parang hindi mo pwedeng ikahon siya eh. We need to look at it at different angles and different approaches and find what best fits you, your lifestyle, and what you want to achieve out of it.
Yun siguro yung isa sa reason kaya maraming nag-join sa FAR Philippines group kasi hindi ba parang wide-ranging, hindi ba
maraming tinda.
hindi puro tipid tips lang, hindi puro investment tips. Parang na-open yung mga kababayan natin na pwede akong mag-open ng experiences ko kasi hindi lang naman to regards to investing, regards to saving money. So sa mga accountability sessions po is how do you usually structure? You said structured, ginagawa nyo, tinatry nyo na maging structured na siya this year. So how do you go about that?
So this year, what we try to do, kasi we noticed noong 2021, parang nagkakaroon ng snowball effect in a sense na dumadami yung participants. We started out 5 lang. So it was a free event, 5 members lang yung nag-attend and then slowly naging 10, 15. In 2021, it was more of like multiple topics that we could discuss kasi it's a much smaller group. Pero nung 2022 na, the first call that we had, we reached around 25 participants. Wow. So that's when I decided na, okay, we need to structure it more efficiently. So I decided na it's just one topic for the call. Let's say call today. Earlier today, we had a call discussing about debt. Yung mga utang. So that's the only topic that I had for the call, and then we structured it with a few informational things about debt, how Filipinos are being stressed over debt, where do they source their borrowings, and then mostly by the end it's more sharing of personal experiences about how you dealt with your own loans and debt. How did you pay it off, 'di ba? Ano yung mga luho mo dati na ngayon nag-stop ka na talaga and then you pay that off and then now you're pursuing FIRE naman. So those are the stories that we hear from the accountability call.
Tingin ko kaya marami din nagjo-join sa group mo, kuya, is aside sa nagko-cultivate kayo ng growth mindset sa sa mga taong gusto mag-start, it's also a safe zone na, okay, I can share this without other people judging me. Hindi ba nakaka-intimidate? Hindi yung parang, naku, pag nag-share ako, nakakatakot, ibabash nila ako. So yung mga tao parang, no, kasi si kuya, as leader of the group, siya talagang welcoming talaga siya. Kasi we felt so welcome nung nag-join kami sa group niyo. Parang, welcoming ganyan. Parang, wait, this is nice. Parang, hindi ba yung parang pagpapasok ka sa room, mag-isa ka lang?
Parang tinitingnan ka ng lahat, parang ginajudge ka.
We are all here for you. We will listen to you. I guess yun yung pakiramdam pag nakasali ka sa Fire Movement PH. Like, so, it's a safe
actually, like what you said, Camille, I wanted to create that safe space and also celebrate the wins of others.
That's right.
I think yun talaga yung kulang minsan, no? I think mas nauna yung inggit, yung
Oo,
envy, what other people have, dapat meron din ako, yung mga ganun. So, we wanted to create that space that your success, we're happy for you. You reach a certain milestone, we're happy for you, di ba? Kasi we're all journeying towards the same path. Iba-iba lang yung iba-iba lang yung height ng fire number natin, pero we're going through the same things, 'di ba? Experiencing the same things. And yun nga, tama yung sinabi mo, we didn't want this journey to be lonely. And then you realize ang dami pala natin kasabay. So that's a happy discovery for me as well.
Nakaka-boost talaga ng feeling na, kasi iba na pag napakinggan mo sa mga podcast dito, parang iba naman kasi iisipin mo iba naman sila American sila, ganyan. Baka naman mga Pilipino hindi to applicable. Tapos pag nung nakita namin na marami rin palang Pilipinong may mga nagme-message din sa amin na nagwa-fining kami, hindi namin alam kayo din.
Nakakatawa kasi nakaka-overwhelm kasi nga parang napag-usapan namin sa isang podcast namin parang na marami mga closet fires. Mga closet fires. So nga nagtatago pa, ayaw magsabi. Kasi nga, nakakatakot yung world. Kasi minsan pag may sasabihin ka na, you know that it's gonna bring value to other people. Pero pag may hindi naniwala sa'yo, let's say yung mga close mo pa, family mo,
medyo ano rin, masakit din.
Parang ayaw mo na mag-share.
Meron akong isang point of view, Camille, about closet fires na Pinoy. Okay? Dahil ayaw nila mautangan. Kaya hindi nila sabihin ako.
Nagtitipid ka pala, marami ka palang pera.
Marami ka palang pera.
Utang. Bakit pag mangungutang ako, wala kang pera?
That's true.
Totoo yan, Kuya. Ang hirap, no? Yung talagang hindi mo matatanggal kasi mindset ng mga Pinoy minsan talaga. Parang, ano bang gagawin na natin? That's why yung group na binuo mo, Kuya, I think maraming tao na matutulungan. Kung hindi man makinig sa kanya yung pamilya niya o yung close friends niya, there's this other group of people na will support you.
Yes, that's correct. Yung parang sounding board mo lang na, okay, I have this idea, I have this thought, baka may iba nang nakagawa, and did it help you with your fire journey? Parang ganun. So, yeah, that's right.
So yung mga members is open to pose a question or to post their situations, and then para bang lahat maglalagay na ng thoughts nila sa group, which is good kasi alam mo na experience na nila yun before.
Yeah.
So paano niyo po yung sa structure ng accountability sessions, nagre-research po ba kayo prior to doing a structure, o paano niyo po gina-go about yung research na ginagawa ninyo?
Siguro I pattern it more towards medyo gut feeling. Kunwari, let's say, and also parang ngayon 2022, I think siguro para mas madali akong mag-decide kung anong topic. Medyo thematic yung approach. So noong January, we were doing discussions about portfolio review. So how starting the year off, kamusta yung portfolio mo? And then you do a quick review, quick scan. And doon, nag-discuss na kami. So some members discovered that they were overly invested in a certain type of investment. And then they heard others doing a more diversified approach. So parang so it's more of a revelation for them na, okay, I might be doing this because it has been working for me, pero it might be exposing me also to a risk na kasi isa lang yung investment. So baka I need to diversify. So they hear that from the other members as well. So ngayong February, we did the utang na loob yung title of the talk or the session. And then next week, for Valentine's, we're doing a Valentine's talk or the call. The session is titled Happy Valentine's, Scam Yan.
Nakakatuwa lagi yung mga
title nyo, Kuya.
Mapapa-join ka talaga.
So the next week's call is more about discovering mga passion myth yung mga myth about passion and maybe finding your own passion and how do you fuel your fire journey. So yun yung ano natin sa
Nakakatuwa siya si Kuya talaga. Ang busy na siya sa business niya sa Tatao Philippines. Nag-YouTube pa si Kuya, guys. Nag-YouTube pa si Kuya. Tapos nagtuturo po siya sa mga employees niya. And then you always still find time to do this session. Parang what drives you to keep on doing this, Kuya? Parang hindi ka naman bayad dito, di ba? Pero you still do it. Right?
We're not paid for doing it. Siguro in terms of why we still do it, I think my father always told me na parang kung may nakikita kang tao na lulunod, someone's drowning in front of you, and you don't know how to swim, will you jump in and help? So yung question sa akin, no? So parang for me kasi, matulungin akong tao, pero that was also a question he posed to me, na masyado akong matulungin. No, it was weird because I would think that parents would say, okay, be more helpful to others.
Right.
Diba? Pero that question that he posed me, siguro nung teenage years ko, it didn't really register until when I was doing fire na. Na parang how can we help the poor if I am also not financially independent?
Exactly.
Diba? Parang light bulb moment. How can I say that I'm helping the poor and trying to uplift them when I couldn't be as a middle class Filipino? I'm not financially independent and also I'm not helping myself also. So parang napaka na question mark na they're already drowning. You're also drowning, maybe in debt. Maybe you're not saving enough or investing enough for your future. Hindi natin alam. We were drowning. Diba? Kasi you might be earning a certain amount, diba? You're earning a middle class income status or maybe higher, pero you're drowning. We were all drowning. So yun yung question mark. Parang okay. Now that I'm learning how to swim, I just wanted to find more people that are also learning how to swim and then we swim together, di ba? Kasi parang ano talaga is like
that's a good analogy. Yeah, that's a good analogy.
So that you can help other people that are drowning.
Correct.
Ano tayo? Just keep swimming.
Ano na tayo, mas Baywatch, dalawa lang.
So based po sa mga nasabi niyo po kanina sa business niyo is nagka-counsel kayo or nagtuturo kayo ng financial independence. For a regular Filipino po na hindi naman ganun kataas yung income, for example, gagaya po sa mga empleyado ninyo, how can a regular Filipino get to financial independence and what is the next best action that they can do to start doing financial independence?
Actually, you'd be surprised. There are a lot of Filipinos who do not have an emergency fund. So yun talaga. If you're asking me, how can they start emergency fund? They don't know. They don't understand that. Kasi most of, based on my experience, most of the people I talk to, wala talaga emergency fund, regardless of income. No, some kunwari lower income, middle income. Walang emergency fund eh. So I think that's the first step talaga of any Filipino who wants to be more financially independent. Not to invest in ganito. Emergency fund muna. And then look, yun yung mga basic na look at protection. So maybe insurance or something like that. Pero definitely not variable life insurance. Ako talaga.
So, biktima po ako dyan dati.
So yung ano talaga, like, insurance is important for protection talaga. Like in business, in life, di ba? Car, gano'n. So, protection. But definitely for my employees, my path for them is savings, emergency fund, and next is MP2. So I was sharing to you guys, Pag-ibig MP2 as a tool, no? Kung mga Filipinos na nakikinig, Pag-ibig MP2 is a voluntary account under Pag-ibig. No? So this is where people or Filipinos can put money invest money, and then the organization, Pag-ibig, will lend this out to members for them to be able to acquire their house or build their houses, and it comes with interest. For the people that invested in MP2, you get a dividend or something in return.
Mhm.
So for the past pre-pandemic, they were giving out 7% dividend.
Wow.
Wow.
Pre-pandemic. And during the pandemic, I was surprised. 2020, I think it was 6 point something,
Not bad.
6.02% dividend. I'm not sure kung lumabas na yung dividend for 2021, but definitely ganun kalaki yung dividend. No? So, and I would like to share that it is tax-free. So yung income that you generate from the investment that you put in is not taxed.
Buong buo sa'yo.
Buong buo ibigay na sa'yo. And then,
Again, parang too good to be true, pero meron pala talagang ganyan.
Parang nga, like for me, I've been working all my life here, no? And then sabi ko, okay, wait, hindi ko, ngayon ko lang to narinig. No one ever told me this. No one ever mentioned this to me. Yung mga ganon. So, essentially, meron palang ganito. Bakit hindi ko to tinitake advantage? So, for a normal Filipino employee that could save and put money in an MP2 account, option kasi yun that you could leave the dividends in your account so that it could be added to the computation the next year.
So hindi mo
Parang
kailangan
may compounding.
Hindi mo kailangan
May option ka ng gano'n. May option then that you could withdraw every year. And then there's an option that you could just put it there until the end of the term of 5 years.
Oh, wow. So tax-free growth, tapos pag, tapos
You can always get it.
compounding interest. Oh my gosh. So lahat yung mga employees mo is in-encourage mo sila o tinutulungan mo sila mag-open ng MP2 o paano?
Actually, each employee, even though we're just 10 people, iba-iba yung levels eh. Iba-iba yung spending habits, iba-iba yung levels of accepting the coaching, no? So may employees ako that are struggling to even save for emergency fund. Na kulang talaga, like kasi they have previous or mga loans outside of our arrangement sa employer. So baka may utang sila sa labas, may utang sila sa mga ibang people. So ang sabi ko, kailangan nila bayaran yung utang than just saving it also. So iba, kailangan natin i-balance. So there are different levels to each person. And then I would say meron naman that are more receptive and more willing to save. And then ngayon, 2021, they started out with nothing, no emergency fund, nothing. 2022, she was able to save money. And then yung money na yon, she just put it in MP2 this month. Okay. So parang for me, something very proud na from zero, she was able to save money and then put at an MP2 account, no? Open her own MP2 account. So we help them open one. Pero at parang nakaka-proud din yun na moment for me na to have someone na from zero to have an MP2 account. So I think yun yung path. Simple. And then I think alam na ng ibang Pilipino yung naririnig nila, stock market, yung mga ganun. So hindi kailangan lahat. You just need to be more consistent, no? Discipline. Hindi kailangan lahat pasukan eh, kasi mahirap eh. You can't play in all the playgrounds if you don't know the rules.
That's right. Dapat aaralin mo rin siya. Pero I think that's for everyone naman, kahit naman hindi sa Philippines, it's really the emergency fund that you really need to build at first, because that gives you margin and options and a peace of mind.
Yeah, especially with the pandemic, diba? Who knows when will be the next one? Hopefully never. Pero pag may ganun ka, pag may nangyari, let's say an accident or something, hopefully not, meron ka laging kukuhanan ng pera.
Tsaka kagaya nga ng kinakwento ni Kenneth is may empleyado na nakapag-ipon doon sa tipid challenge, nakapaghulog na rin siya sa MP2. Alam ko may kinomento ko pa kanina na nakapagtayo ng business din.
One of our employees was able to save up enough to start a side business, no?
Wow.
Selling. Alam mo yung nauso ngayon, live selling ng mga damit sa Facebook. So doon siya nag-live sell siya ng mga ukay-ukay. And additional income na yun for their family. For me kasi, as long as they tell me that they're going to do it and it's not conflicting with the work that they're doing, I'm all for it. I will support
for
them.
Sure.
So for that person, that employee, nagbigay pa ako ng business coaching. So it's just not just the saving.
Wow.
Certain mga business na, okay, ito yung ganito yung cost ng item na magkano ko ba ibebenta. So may mga ganun siyang questions. Sabi ko, I find time to talk to them about it.
You have been a light to your employees. Parang siguro nandun sila sa dark corner na I'll never be good enough or hindi ako makakaipon enough or magbabago yung life ko. Pero you gave them hope na try to do this. We'll try to evaluate whatever's going on with your life. Tapos let's do this. Ito na yung mga actionable steps. Tapos hindi lang sinabi mo sa kanila, you're also with them sa journey nila. Ang galing.
Yeah, that's really the true meaning of social enterprise. It's not just giving them a paycheck. It's giving them their life. Yeah. So for our final few questions, what's one thing, concept, idea, or belief that you have learned recently that you would like to share with us?
Siguro for me, I have been preaching talaga. Yung how we are able to create our own vision board. So for us, we did something a little bit different. Kasi usually when you do vision board, you have something na goal, and then you set it for 2022 or something, di ba? May year that you want to accomplish it. So noong 2020, when the pandemic hit, lahat ng mga vision board natin warak. Wala.
Forget that.
Surprise! Inunit natin yung So for me, I discovered during that time mas siguro religious-based or mas faith-based na vision board. So what we did really is create a Google spreadsheet or Google Sheet na mga gusto naming ma-achieve for ourselves, for others. And we don't put a deadline or we don't put a date that we want to achieve it. Instead, we put a date where God has given it to us. It's a very different perspective on how you put in a vision board. So we shared that vision, the things that we want to accomplish, and we raise it up to God. And then, once na binigay na niya sa amin, and then we put the date.
Okay, so after.
Yeah, so that has been working for us. Yeah, for like, since the pandemic hit, sabi ko, okay, if our plans are not, cannot be achieved, di ba, on our own, then we lift everything to Him. So, yung end date is God's date. You just put it
Pag
there.
na-achieve, tsaka ilalagay yung date. Well, that's a good way to write a vision board. Different perspective. Parang nga kasi minsan pag susulat ka ng vision board, parang ang lapit na ng date na nilagay ko, parang hindi pa ako nangangalahati sa goal ko.
Tumataas yung anxiety mo, di ba? Pero,
I think, yeah, go ahead.
No, it's okay, Kuya. Go.
You mentioned kasi anxiety. Feeling ko yun yung main purpose, di ba, of the why we did this approach is to relieve us of the anxiety and the worry.
Yes.
Kasi feeling ko ganun din with the FIRE journey. It's like you're trying to rush certain things to achieve a retirement age of, let's say, 30 plus or something. Parang sobrang panic mode ka. Ay, shit, am I too late?
Yeah.
Am I trying to, so my age right now, I'm 39. And then, nung una talaga, I felt that, shit, late na ba to? Diba? Yung parang gano'n, yung mga thinking na, am I too late in the game to start now or do something now? So, the anxiety and the worry, and also with the stock investing, alam mo yun, kasi parang nandun ka nagka-crash lahat, anxiety and worry. So, what we did, we just lifted it, everything to God, and then yung end date nandun. So, ilalagay lang namin when He gave it to us. So, I'm not sure if maniniwala kayo, siguro naman, no? Pero definitely, some of the things that we listed there was given to us, not by our own efforts. No? Some parang bigay ng ibang tao. No? So, example lang, like we put there, in chocolate making kasi there's a machine called tempering machine. And medyo mahal to, medyo pricey na machine. And during the pandemic, we were able to receive a machine in 2021, last year.
Wow.
No? Through a grant. So half nun nabayaran ko. Yung kalahati, kami na nagpondo. Pero, ang ano ko doon is that we just put it there sa list. Diba?
Tapos,
sabi ko, okay.
dumating din naman.
Dumating din naman. Sabi ni God, di mo naman kailangan bayaran po. 50%.
Okay lang. Parang ano po you can plan all you want. All of us can plan all we want. Pero God's plan, yun talaga yung mananaig sa dulo. So, inisip nga po naman minsan pag may disappointments, parang ito yung goal mo pero hindi mo na-achieve by this time. Parang sa akin, mas na-excite po ako na, okay, hindi ko siya na-achieve by that time. Hindi ko to na-achieve. Baka kasi hindi ito yung plano ni Lord. So, kung ang tingin ko, ito na yung the best na possible kong makuha, tapos hindi yun yung nakuha ko, it's okay. I actually feel more calm kasi mas best pa yung ibibigay ni Lord sa'yo. God's best. So, nakaka-excite din na, ano kaya yun? Parang akala ko ito na yung best, pero meron pa pala siyang ibibigay na mas maganda. So, talagang trust lang din. So, lalo na sa times ngayon, yung medyo yung faith mo, mas kailangan malakas. Kuya, we're always inviting people to live life with intention. What recent purchase of money or time, no matter how crazy or expensive you spent, that brought value or joy to your present life?
Medyo mahirap yun kasi ayoko nang gumastos eh.
Kahit naman po hindi gastos, kahit pinabusan nyo ng time.
Siguro, in terms of spending, I would say we're visiting my sister in Boston.
Yes, nakwento niyo po yun.
So, I think yun yung so parang yung, syempre, may halo ng anxiety about the safety, the trip, diba, itself. So, medyo mahal din. So, I think that's the one spending that I feel na is worth it kasi we haven't seen her for the longest time. She got married during the pandemic, so Facebook live lang or something like that. So we weren't there. Wala kami dun sa moment niya. So we wanted to visit her. And then in terms of time, I think more building the Fire Movement Philippines as a community. Marami akong ideas that I think magbe-benefit ang marami, hopefully. And yun talaga yung gusto natin, more Filipinos to get into the lifestyle, get into the journey. Para lang to break yung cycle of poverty. Cycle of parang depending on your children for your retirement. Yung mga ganun, di ba? So yun. Yun yung dalawa. So the spending side is trip to the US, and then the time side is spending more time with the community.
Yeah, pero yung mga spending ninyo is benefits other people too. But
yeah, actually.
Yung spending of your time benefit the people in the community, and yung ticket papunta sa Boston is benefit your sister.
Family.
Talagang medyo matulungin talaga kayo.
Oo nga, nasa dugo talaga ni Kuya. Kahit anong gawin niya, tutulong talaga niya. Kahit yung gusto niya yun, pero tutulong pa rin. It goes, back to back Ganun talaga. Side by side.
So if people want to get in touch with you, baka may interest sila sa FI or Kakao Philippines, how can people get in touch with you?
Pinakamadali siguro would be through Facebook. Sa Kakao Culture, it's Kakao Culture Philippines in Facebook. We're also in Instagram. So I think madali lang mahanap. And then for the Fire Movement Philippines, there is a Fire Movement Philippines page. And with that page, there is a group that you could join. So you just need to answer a few questions, and then you are able to join the group. Meron din kaming public page ng wife ko. So it's Ken and Sheila. Reach out to Facebook.
Natin sa link.
Nililink
So
namin
it's
yan, kuya.
so yung sa Facebook page namin na Ken and Sheila, it's just sharing of the two worlds, no, chocolate and fire.
Oh, wow.
Kasi parang how can you be two different people? You can't eh. So we just wanted to share what we're passionate about. That's Philippine chocolate and also financial literacy through the fire movement. So yun yung ano namin.
So yun yung mga behind the scenes nyo ba? Doon ba namin makikita ko yan? Yung mga behind the scenes niyo?
Siguro, pero actually yung time talaga, no? I mean, you guys know, creating content is really hard. So yun, so hopefully we could share some more there. Kasi sa Kakao Culture, meron na kaming vlog sa YouTube, no? Kakao Culture Philippines or Kakao Culture PH on YouTube.
I-share din namin yan sa...
Hindi ko alam if we have time for fire, pero I think kailangan din kasi more people would benefit from it also. So, hopefully.
Yeah. Support namin yan,
Support.
kuya, syempre.
Always going to support you. So, marami talaga tayong natutunan sa conversation na to. Isa sa mga takeaway na sinabi ni Kuya Ken is that you have to, if you want to play the game, you have to know the rules. So, kaya naghahanap si Kuya Ken ng mga ways para makasali rin ba yung mga Pilipino sa saving, investing, tsaka sa stock market. And isa pang talagang nakafocus ng attention ko is yung, would you say, when someone is drowning, you don't know how to swim.
Sinabi. Yun yung sa akin. Wala na. Sabi ko sa akin yung drowning sa akin.
Ibigay ko na sa'yo. Bakit mo gusto yun?
Sabi namin, dapat may tig-isa ka. Pero dalawa sa'yo. Anyway, yun nga yung nagustuhan ko. Sa sinabi ni Kuya. Kasi how can you help other people? If ikaw yourself, you don't know how to do it. Parang, ang nangyari kasi sa iba, nakaangat ka ng konti, tumulong ka naman sa ibang tao, pero hindi ka pa naman talaga financially stable to help other people eh. Para sa amin, mas importante na, kaya bigyan mo yung tao ng pera, you give them knowledge. And then from that, siya na bahala mag-grow nun. And for us then, we have to learn everything first bago kami makapagturo. So, salamat sobra kuya sa time nyo. Sobrang, we feel so blessed na to have you in our podcast. Ang dami mong na-share sa amin at hopefully sa maraming Pilipino pa na makikinig sa atin.
Hopefully makamit pa kami ng mga masyadong matulungin na tao sa
mga tulad ni Kuya
sa world, kagaya mo.
You're welcome, guys. So, ano ko lang is that you guys prosper in terms of spreading the word. Yung fire movement, no, either in the US setting, Philippine setting. I think more Filipinos need to hear it from fellow Filipinos na kaya pala, na pwede pala. Diba? Hindi lang pang foreigner yung fire. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Salamat, Kuya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.